Now let me explain to you building adaptive capacity. What are the ideas and plans? Redesigning drainage systems, changing the type of crops that are grown and the time when they are grown, using better irrigation and water harvesting, diversifying livelihood, relocating settlement that are more exposed, and protecting or restoring ecosystems that help to regulate the climate. In practice, many programs create capacity and get things done at the same time. For example, community-based early warning system. Community-based early warning system improve local knowledge and save lives during extreme events. Students, now I am going to explain you on the climate wizard and vulnerability and adaptation assessment that has already shown how important it is to have tools and frameworks that help one analysis existing and future climate threats and find efficient ways to adapt. Tools like climate scenario analysis, local climate impact profiles, sectoral risk assessments, and business vulnerability tools like BACLI-80 help adaptive capacity by giving decision makers at all levels from national ministries to local authorities and communities easy access to information. The next is adaptive capacity in key areas. Students, adaptive ability can be studied through important climate sensitive sectors that play a central role in human well-being and sustainable development. Agriculture and food systems. Changes in temperature and precipitation, drought, flood, and changes in the pattern of pests and diseases can have a great effect on agriculture. In this area, adaptive capability means having access to climate resilient crop varieties, a variety of production systems, better management of soil and water, access to market, extension service, and policies that help. Farmers who are able to cope up better may take care when they plant, switch crops, adopt irrigation that saves water, add organic matter to soil, merge trees, and cattle get insurance of their crop, and make usage of climate information services. While on the other hand, smallholders who don't have strong land rights, credit, technical help, or access to markets may be stuck in climate sensitive production system and have tough time changing their practices even when climate risks get worse. This distinction in how well people can adjust to changes in the weather explains why some farming communities lose crop and go into the debt after similar weather occurrences, while others are able to stabilize the production or switch to new ways of making a living. Now let me explain to you water resource and their management. Students, as you know that climate change alters the amount, timing, and intensity of rain, influences how snow and glaciers move and change how much water evaporates. This in turn dictates the availability of water and the extremity of hydrological cycle. Regions with strong multipurpose reservoirs, the ability to use both surface and groundwater, good watershed management, and flexible allocation plans are better suited to deal with changes in hydrological regime. On the other hand, areas with degraded catchment, overexploited aquifers, insufficient regulatory enforcement, and fragmented institutional responsibilities have little adaptive capacity, which causes crises to happen again and again during floods and droughts. Now let me explain to you the health system and the well-being of the people. Climate change affects health in many ways, such as through excessive heat, changes in the spread of water and vector-borne diseases, food and water insecurity, air pollution, and mental health problems that come from being forced to move or stress at work. In the health sector, adaptive capacity means having strong primary health systems, surveillance and early warning systems, emergency readiness, strong infrastructure, skilled staff and social protection programs that protect vulnerable groups from shocks. Research shows that health status can both affect and be affected by adaptive ability. For example, persons who already have health problems may be less able to make changes and more likely to be affected by climate related stressors. Differences in access to health care based on location and income level means that adaptation capacity varies greatly within country. Rural, remote and marginalized urban groups often face the highest combined climate and health risk. So, after that, let me explain to you the infrastructure business and systems in urban areas. Students, businesses and industries also have different levels of adaptability, which depend on how strong their finances are, how well they manage risk, how flexible their supply chain are, and how easy it is for them to get information and insurance. The business area climate impact assessment tools is one of the tools that can assist businesses find climate risk and opportunities in different functional areas. This makes the company more adaptable. Now let me explain to you measuring and evaluating adaptive capacity. It is difficult to assess how adaptable someone is because adaptive capacity is complex virtue and cannot be observed directly. It also varies greatly across different kinds of contexts. Still, a number of analytical frameworks have been created that employ indicators to get a rough idea of adaptive capability at the household, community, regional and sectoral level. These are majorly used as part of larger risk assessments. Generally, indicator-based methods make usages of variable about asset, income, education, health, infrastructure, institutional quality, social capital and access to information. They make use of composite indices or multi-criteria analysis to do this. For instance, researchers have constructed adaptive capacity indices for farming families in areas that are prone to disasters by looking at factors like the size at their landholding, supplementary sources of livelihood, ease to access to irrigation and extension services, membership in farmer organization and involvement in decision making. But one need to be careful when looking at the kinds of indicators since the same variable might mean various things in different social, cultural and ecological setting. So, get a sense of how people in certain area feel about their ability, limitations and possibilities. Qualitative methods like participatory rural appraisal, focus group, life histories and institutional analysis are commonly used together with quantitative indicators. This focuses on vulnerability and adaptation assessment, including the use of tools like Climate Wizard and UK CIPS, Adaptation Wizard. This shows how quantitative climate data can be combined with socioeconomic data to make assessments that help with planning for climate change.